What up, guys? We are After Hours Investor. It is Thursday, February 9th. My name is Michael,
And my name's Chris.
and let's get into stocks. Always building good habits. I'm going to reiterate it every fucking time. If it annoys you, maybe I should put a chapter in so you can skip it. Let's get started with the state of the economy, people. Like I said, fear and greed index is the only thing that's really going to change right now until we get some new numbers, but we'll still gloss over the other stats, just in case you're a new viewer coming in. Fear and greed index, we closed yesterday at 74. When we recorded our video, it was actually at 73, so it looks like it tilted up a little bit, and it's back down to 72. We're still living in a high-end greed market right now. It is kind of reflected a little bit, but we have seen momentum really slow down. Not for Elon Musk, man. Tesla's on the Peloton right now, just fucking pedaling. Um, like we said, we know interest rate 4.75, not good, not bad. Honestly, you know what? I don't think it's that bad because they've been increasing the interest rate and the economy's been thriving right now. Maybe they're setting us up for a nice rug pull, but I honestly think we're riding the rug right now, Aladdin style. I don't think there's anything to worry about. Um, Unemployment rate super low. We mentioned before, the Federal Reserve wanted unemployment at 4.2%, but in a recent interview, he got asked about it, and he said that unemployment right now, it seemed that he is not worried about it because the economy is doing fine. People that, the demand for workers is really high, but that's not bad because we don't really want a high supply of workers per se, because then that's a lot of people that can't stimulate the economy. If somebody wants a job, they can get a job right now. That's pretty good for the economy. Maybe wages might be a little too high, but we want people making money, so I'm not going to complain about it. That's for damn sure. And the economy's not suffering, so there's nothing to worry about right now. We're waiting for our new inflation numbers. They come out next week. I think it's on Wednesday. I might be tripping on that. It's the 14th of February. We're gonna see those numbers. They're forecasting a 6.2%. I'm a little hopeful we might be under that, but as long as we're 6.2 or below, like shit's good. Something to keep in mind though, inflation, although it's been going down, there's actually three sectors of the economy. It's housing, and I always blank out on the third thing. I did it with Disney yesterday, but we have housing, we have another sector, and services is actually I think about 53 to 56% of our market right now. It's actually the most of our market, and services right now is actually extremely inflated, and I think that's what the Federal Reserve is really looking at right now. I mean, I don't think so. He literally mentioned it. The only reason I know services is inflated was because Jerome Powell said it himself. And so these numbers do need to come down if we're going to ever have the hope of, dropping our interest rate and maybe getting some leeway. But like I said already, like the economy hasn't really been suffering too much from it. And of course, we have our, 517,000 new jobs, way higher than forecasted. Like I said, when a lot of people can get a job, they can ask for, when people can't get jobs, they're less likely to ask for higher wages. But it looks like right now, like I said, the economy's been doing fine, even though unemployment's really low, even though a lot of people are getting a lot of jobs. So maybe we might see a new era where we can actually lower the unemployment rate and keep the economy stable. I'm not, an economist or whatever the fuck you call those dudes, but I feel like I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful. Let's take a look at our charts today. Chris, you want to take it away with SPY?
So it looks like for SPY today, we ended up going down and losing more momentum today. I do still believe that we could still hit the gap just because there was some whale that bought in today, and if you take a look at the picture that's pulled up right now, he bought around $56,000 worth of volume, And if you add up the math with the averages of how much he bought it for, it's around a $16.8 million bet. That might be an institutional whale, like just a person with a lot of money, and they are down 50% unrealized. They haven't sold that position as of yet.
With
Um,
stocks, you don't lose your money until you sell. Just something to know, people. That's why we
right.
use the term unrealized.
So what I'm seeing right now is with this sell-off, it was pretty aggressive today. We're down almost 1%. It is looking like we are just tapering off the greed train a bit. This could move up for another upside. I do think my most worst case scenario bet, because I still do think we got to fill that upside gap between the 417 and the 421 area. The worst case scenario is we go down to 400 and see if we can hold support there and then violently bounce off from there and then see if we can hit that gap. Today we did have a mini gap on the 3 minute time frame, and that 3 minute time frame, when we gapped up in the morning from yesterday's trading day, we could clearly see that the gap up uh, Michael, could you show the gap real quick?
Oh, yeah, I have it right here. This is the 3 minute gap right here.
Yeah, that's the 3 minute gap. We Yeah, if you were paying attention to that smaller time frame, you could see that when that gap was made and we started the trend for the day, we did consistently go down during the entire day. So once we filled that gap around 10 o'clock of today's trading day, it would have been a really good position for a put position. Those puts went at least 200 to 300%. You could have tripled your money basically. If we look over at the DXY today, the DXY um, looks like to be consolidating for a bit. This is the 3 minute time frame. If we look at the daily
Oop.
time frame is we just see basically more consolidation. I do think the dollar does have a potential for a move up. I don't really see an aggressive sell off coming soon, um, because we have looked like to be have bottomed here. It looks like we have bottomed here. If we look over at the VIX today, the VIX is basically an index where in versus SPY 80% of the time. So when SPY is up, then the VIX is down, and when the VIX is up, the SPY is down. Usually, how it plays out, they do run 20% of the time, but 80% of the time they inverse each other. And today we saw a nice hefty gain of 5%, another 5% day for the VIX. Um, this is looking like it's going to break out pretty soon. We might be starting a new trend. This is early to buying calls for VIX. I'd say if you want to buy calls, I'd say just wait for a pullback. Um, we are still a little bit early, and I think with that $16.8 million whale bet, we still have more room to the upside, and this just might be an early anticipation for the downside. I don't think we will get that downside. Tomorrow will be very telling of what we get on the SPY, because if we do go down, I think we'll touch that 400 area on the SPY and bounce violently to the upside. Because if we don't hold that 400 area, I do see us going down even further. If we take a look at the meme stocks today, Michael, what did Mr. Burry say today?
Oh, Mr. Burry is like fucking, he's like apocalypse is near right now, sending the quote unquote memesters, some scary, scary message. He tweeted out today, memesters should really look up what a death spiral convertible is. Now, these keywords he really drops out, giving us some new vocabulary that we got to study. But from what I have gathered, what a death spiral convertible is a security that turns into a stock later. So you're basically investing in the potential for it to turn into a stock. And I mean, sorry, I'm not explaining it that well, but the thing to keep in mind is that the security is priced at the market price of the stock. So when the stock's really cheap, you can convert more securities into shares. And when dilute the, market with a bunch of shares, sorry, I didn't want to say market, but when you dilute the shares, there's a higher supply, there's less demand, and that will drive down the price of the shares. When there's a lot of something, it's less valuable. So a death spiral convertible is basically where the stock keeps going down, shares keep getting converted, so the stocks continuously plummet to their death. And I think he's saying that this is something that's going to happen here with our meme stocks. I'm not exactly sure if he's pointing out a particular business or if it's all the businesses, but something to keep in mind. Michael Burry might be onto something, or he's really being the grumpy old man, because I mean these tweets are starting to sound a little bit egotistical, but I mean that guy's got a lot of credibility. And
Yeah, in layman's terms, it just basically means more dilution, more supply equals less demand, which just means a lesser stock price because there's more of it, and just that drives the price down.
and it's a repeating pattern. So, Chris, you want to talk about our powerhouses today? You want to start with Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla seems like it had another day today. It's still pretty overbought. It's looking really hot on the RSI. It will correct eventually, but as I've said before, the markets are irrational and they can stay irrational for quite a while. Um, mm, though I do see that Tesla's going to hit that 200 MA pretty soon. It could reject off that 200 MA and then possibly consolidate here for a bit and then maybe move up to its last leg. I don't see this overbought RSI sustaining for the future, and we do have a gap to the downside. I would say if you're buying puts on Tesla at this area, it would be a good sound investment decision because we do have that gap to the downside, and that will need to get filled if we do start to trend downwards, and that will be an aggressive downward move. I would consider getting around the 150 strike Tesla put for April 21st. I think that will be a really nice gain once we start to trend down. If you did buy into today's highs of 215, you did profit and made some money. But I think I do think this RSI has to correct. And if we look at the volume too, if we zoom in into the volume, that buy volume has that those candles that we see, those green candles have been decreasing. So buyers have been decreasing their buys at these levels, and sellers have been stepping up and selling quite, you know, quite moderately. And so that just means that these buyers aren't really supporting this move for much longer, and we could see aggressive sell-offs occur in the next coming trading days. As far as Microsoft and Apple, they've just been moving along with the market, chugging along. Uh, they do both have gaps to the downside, as you can see, around the 146 area and the
48, it
148
looks like.
48 area. Those will need to be filled if we are going to trend down. It all depends tomorrow if we do decide to go aggressively downward, or if we decide to bounce and go around, I'd say 411 to 412 for SPY tomorrow, and then continue the trend into next week and fill that gap possibly. Michael, do you want to talk about crypto?
Oh, I would love to talk about crypto, but also I just want to say Disney lost their steam finally. They were running on a high, but they're still these things take time, as Chris quoting a great man myth legend named Christopher with us today. So, these changes that they're trying to make long term, we talked about it yesterday. They're still trying to take over the world. You can't take over the world tomorrow. Rome wasn't built in a day. I mean, Napoleon was trying, though. So I was trying to take down the world in a day. My bad. I don't know where I got Rome. Napoleon did not live in Rome. Anyway, I added Coinbase to our crypto. It's not a Coinbase, of course. It's an exchange where you can buy cryptocurrency. I added it to my crypto section because when crypto is thriving, the exchanges are thriving. I should also put Binance on here. They are the leading exchange, and you know what? I'm not just going to say it. I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. Just something we can keep in mind. Do they not have? Maybe I'm tripping. I'm going to worry about that later. So we finally seen cryptocurrency lose its momentum. Something fierce today. We broke through this line of support at about 2200. So I'm still confident in crypto. It was kind of flying high. SPY was very recently dunking, and you could see we had one green day, which honestly I like to see. It stops the trend right here of downward movement. I'm a big Ethereum Classic guy. I've been biting it. I'm still biting it right now, let me tell you. But frankly, I bought at 15. I'm holding. I'm still holding. I have high hopes for it. But I think right now, this might be a pretty good entry point. This is not financial advice, but you don't lose money until you sell. I think if you bought right now and maybe it plummets, I'm thinking we're gonna see it, rise again, have its own revolution. Now, of course, if it drops down to 15. I'm just gonna buy more, even though hypothetically I'm pretty shit on if it goes down to 15. But you know what? I'm not gonna sell at a loss because I know that this has potential, and I feel like you should see that potential too. But if you disagree with me, I would love to hear about it because I'm only limited to my own perception. I'm trapped in this very sexy body of mine, and I can only see out these eyes. So if you see something I don't see, I would really appreciate it if you pointed it out in the comments, because we're all in it together. I don't see any reason why one person should succeed and the other not. I think we can all ride this wave. We're all about we're all surfers here. We're all about catching that sick wave, bruh. And of course Shiba Inu. Honestly, way more fierce of a movement here, but I'm still confident. It's still got the hype. I got this dotted line of support just to make it a little more snazzy, a little more fancy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I genuinely think that we could pass this 16,000. But if you're looking to put a sell order, basically a sell order is when it sells for you. I would always go a little bit short of these milestones because, like you see here in Ethereum Classic, I put this line of support here. It says 24.92. But I'm pretty sure it hit $24.95. And, everyone else is on the same page. They're like, everyone's going to sell at $25, so I'm going to sell at $24.95. So honestly, if you want to be even more sneaky about it, you could drop down 10 cents and get your sell order there. And that's if you want to, reap some profits, because when we hit these milestones, we usually do see a correction. And, I missed out because I don't have a sell order. I need to get on that myself. But that's all I have to say about crypto. Chris, you got any closing thoughts, particularly?
Yeah, so it does appear that we are still in the fear and greed index of 72. So it does seem like we are decoupled from reality right now. At this point, I mean, there wasn't really too many things to bring this market down today, and as far as news, so I do see why these markets are irrational. I mean, I expect it to be that way for another week, maybe a week and a half. But as far as then, I think we'll start the downside trend, the new downside trend, because we are being overbought on multiple tickers. So time will tell, and we will see.
Thanks for watching, you guys. Love to have you. Please, if you liked the video, you could, always express it with that like button. It really does help us out. And I think it would help a lot of people out. We want to build a community ourselves and hopefully get a nice society of traders that are doing the benefit of, society. Because, You work for the individual. Society is comprised of individuals. So what's best for the individual is also best for society. Thank you for watching, people, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
See you guys later.